Hey guys, what's up? It's Chris here from Chris's Sci-Fi Reactions. Today we're here with another Doctor Who episode, The Keys of Marinus, Part 1. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded one to Patreon. Yeah, we've been having a lot of work done here at the house, so it's sort of put my schedule off a bit, but hopefully I will be able to catch up as soon as possible. And also, I don't think there'll be a problem if you're watching this on YouTube. That should come out at the usual time. Okay, so the last Doctor Who episode was The Edge of Destruction, or story, I should say. It was okay. I like that we sort of saw the personality of the TARDIS so early on. But the story wasn't the strongest. Now, I get it, it's classic Who. It probably will never be up to the standard of New Who. And of course, in the era that it was made, you shouldn't really judge it that much. But as for this episode, I'm hoping that it's better. And let's just get straight into it. Obviously, also the graphics in in Classic Who, sorry. Oh, this was written by Terry Nation. I'm sure most of you know, but for those that don't, Terry Nation is the one who created the Daleks.
Any radiation, Doctor?
No, nothing to speak of. The Count is hardly reading anything. Shall we take a look?
Pity you don't have colour television.
Oh, but I have.
Where is it then?
Well, at the moment it's temporarily for the compound.
Oh, look. That's the sea.
I'm
Yes,
not quite sure what that word
where we are.
Well,
that he used to describe colour television actually
Yes,
means.
I don't think.
So if someone can clear that up for me, I'd be much appreciated.
What?
Well, I thought when you switched the scanner on, I thought I saw something move up there. Oh, probably just a shadow.
Well, let's go outside and have a look.
I must admit, though, I really like the TARDIS. It's a lot better than Eccleston / Tennant, and I think it's a lot better than Jodie's as well. I'm not very much for the organic type of TARDIS. I'm more of a Matt Smith sort of, Capaldi sort of TARDIS.
Absolutely calm. Not even a ripple.
It isn't frozen, is it?
No, impossible in this temperature. Besides, it's too warm.
Grandfather, do you think it's safe to go for a swim?
Oh, no, not at the moment, child. However inviting that water looks, we don't know what sort of creatures might be lurking beneath its surface.
Smart. Although we could say the same about our oceans here on Earth as well. There are some nasty creatures, or animals I should refer to them, animals here on Earth.
Yes, it is.
Travels, I've never come across anything like this before. However, Susan wasn't harmed anyway.
No, she was a bit frightened at losing her shoes, but she's gone back to the ship for another pair.
Yes, and if you'd had your shoes on, my boy, you could have lent her hers. You mustn't get sloppy in your habits, you know. Good gracious.
It looks like a glass torpedo.
A one-man submarine? It's certainly designed for going under the water.
Under acid, more likely.
Yes.
I don't
know whether it's occurred to you, Doctor, but this means this place is inhabited.
Oh, yes, it has occurred to me. Let's see what it is, and let's help me get this top off.
Does glass actually...
Doctor?
Yes?
Can glass be
What is it here?
affected by
Something
acid?
inside it.
For anyone that has a bit of scientific knowledge out there.
Grandfather?
See that crack along there? That's where the
Interesting outfit.
Oh, that's got it.
Although we often judge clothes
Who's that?
by
Oh, all right.
what we have here on Earth.
It's a protective suit.
Yes, and whatever it was wore it is similar to a human being. Hmm?
Yes, but how did it get out? Seems to be perfectly intact.
I don't think it did get out. There's a tear in the material here.
You mean the acid got in? Poor devil.
Oh,
But I think we ought to go back to the...
God, that would have been a painful death.
Fine now, come along.
Look at that fantastic building.
Good. Good. Now perhaps we might learn who it is that uses...
Yeah, I find the suits very
Yes.
interesting.
More about this planet. Your technology, you say, reached its peak over 2,000 years ago?
Yes, and all our knowledge culminated in the manufacture of this. At the time, it was called the conscience of Marinus. Marinus, that is the name of our planet. At first, this machine was simply...
I actually remember the name Marinus
and then we added to it, improved on it,
in
made it more and more
Capaldi's
sophisticated.
final
Finally, it
season,
became
last
possible to
two
irrigate it more
episodes,
and influence the minds
or
of
last
men to
episode,
protect the planet.
when he was
They
attacking the
will
Cybermen
what
with
was
his
wrong
sonic
right
screwdriver causing all
the
sorts of
machine just broken.
I
explosions.
see, and in that case, it was possible to eliminate
Um,
evil from the minds of men for all time.
That is
Yeah,
exactly
he
so.
mentioned that as one of the
Marinus was unique in
worlds
the universe.
where
Robots,
Cybermen
violence
developed.
were unknown among us. Yes. For 7 centuries we prospered. And then a man named Yartak found a means of overcoming the power of the machine. He and his followers, the Fords, were able to rob, exploit, kill, cheat our people.
Irresistible, and you can overcome and control the Vods again.
Yes.
Yes.
Surely there must be someone you can send for these
It
keys.
seems to me
All
that
my friends, all my followers have gone.
this
They will
machine
return.
takes away free will, the one right to every species in many
All I have
ways.
now to comfort me is the distant echo of her voice.
You know, I get why they're trying to do it, but taking away one's free will, one's ability to choose their actions,
Yes,
seems wrong.
you must find the keys for me.
Why must they?
Ian, wait a minute. The doctor's miles behind.
Oh.
I don't know about you, but I felt terrible leaving that old man. You seemed to be his last hope.
Yes. I wish there had been something we could have done for him.
Oh, come on, Grandfather.
I'm coming, child. Don't rush. I'm coming. Well, don't just stand there. Come along, keeping me waiting. About it? What?
What is it?
Well, some sort of invisible barrier. What do you make of it, Doctor?
I don't know. There's no substance here. Have a look round the side, child. Go along.
A force field?
It's like an invisible wall.
Is it a circular barrier?
Goes all the way around. There aren't any corners to it.
No, of course there wouldn't be. No. The molecules would be at their weakest. Ah! It's fascinating, Chesterton. Yes, I've got it. You know, I think a force barrier has been thrown up around the ship.
A force barrier.
Keeping you from your ship, but your refusal to help me left me no alternative.
Harbington, where are you?
That is not important. If you help me find the keys of Marinus, I will let you have free access to your machine when you have delivered all the keys to it. If not, you will stay on the island without food or water. The choice is yours.
Choice?
That's a bit... If that actor was told to do that, oh.
Oh, how exhilarating.
But where's Barbara? She should be here now. Barbara! Barbara!
It's Barbara's travel dial. Look, there's blood on it.
Oh no. The Velvet Web. Okay, so that was Doctor Who, The Keys of Marinus, The Sea of Death. A very introductory episode, I feel like. It's really sort of introducing us to the villain, to the story. Very introductory. It wasn't too bad. In fact, if I had to say, I'd say that episode was better than the last two. So yeah, let's just have a review of it. Start off arriving sort of on an island with a pyramid. We find out that Barbara's sort of asking, why doesn't the Doctor have colour on his scanner? I think what he was saying was that it's broken. He's thinking that it's a sea, which I suppose it is. We see these glass sort of objects come up from the sea. Susan wants to go in the sea for a paddle. Then we find out this some sort of creature, and then we see that the island has a glass beach. Beach. Then Susan's going to go in for a paddle, basically, instead. But we find out that it's acid, and that it's a tidal pool. So we find out that it's a sea of acid completely out there. This man tries to get into the TARDIS by massaging the lock. Susan goes back to the TARDIS to change her shoes. We then get the Doctor, Ian, and Barbara sort of checking out these glass submarines. And, then we find that there was something in one of the submarines. Susan follows the footprint left behind. We then check out what's in the submarine. It's a suit, a protective suit, but there's a hole in it in which the acid got in, which would have been nasty death. We then see the pyramid, or the Doctor Ian and Barbara see the pyramid and go and explore after trying to find Susan. That's where they go, thinking that Susan might have gone there to explore. Oh, sorry, my mistake. I sort of jumped ahead a bit. This is where the Doctor and Ian and Barbara are wondering where Susan got to. Susan's then kidnapped. The wall. They decide to go around the structure just to see if they can find Susan. They hear Susan scream when she's kidnapped. And again, I know I complain about this a lot, but her screaming is awful. I hope she improves. Then the Doctor's kidnapped. We find the board. I think they're called the board. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're called the board. Tries to attack Susan. The board's killed. Ian's then taken. Then Barbara's taken. We see Ian get into a bit of a fight here after the Doctor sort of puts his hope on Ian. Then we sort of start to find out more about this place and that, he's a bit of a prisoner himself because he can't actually leave and he's got no one there with him. We also find out about this machine, that it is very much about controlling negative, evil sort of behaviours. Or I should say antisocial behaviours. It sort of takes away free will. I know antisocial behaviour isn't the best, and maybe, stopping crime like that is a good thing. I happen to disagree with it because I think it takes away free will. Then we sort of get more talking here, all about this, and that it could be a weapon. He then asks the Doctor and his companions to find the keys for him. They say no, but when they say no, he ends up putting a force field around the TARDIS and saying, hey, if you don't help me, you'll stay on the island without food and water. It sort of turns out to be a bit of a... I don't know if it's... Is it greedy? He's not really trying to be greedy, but I can understand his point of view. But it's also not the most ethical way to get help. That being said, there's also a lot of discussions currently about COVID and ethics and, doing accelerated research on people. Yeah. So then, they realise they don't have a choice. The Doctor's pretty angry about it. Ian sort of brushes it off now. He says, let's just get on with it. Let's get it over and done with. They're then given these sort of travel bans, sort of like it's very much like Jack's vortex manipulator, except it's limited to the planet. Then Barbara goes off. Here we have him killed by the board either he is a terrible actor, or he was told to act like that maybe because they didn't want really dark violence back then. But if that was the case, I feel sorry for the actor. We then teleport here, and we find Barbara's travel dial with blood on it. So that's a breakdown of that episode. Okay, so that was the Sea of Death. Yeah, an okay episode, very introductory. I look forward to the rest of the story, seeing what that's like. Just remember, full uncut unedited reactions are available on Patreon, listed in the description below. And also my Twitter account is listed in the description below. I'd also be interested to know if any of you think I should, say, start a Facebook page instead of just Twitter. If you do, just let me know. Yeah, so that's about all for this episode, and I will see you next time. Bye.